But the one who's getting all the attention, Luigi Mangione. And he got the attention of a female attorney who, I don't know if they've had a jailhouse romance yet, but when she walked into that court of Alvin Bragg, Manhattan State Supreme Court, after another slow perp walk with 40 cops around him, my God, while he was styling and profiling, this attorney was wearing a matching outfit. It was like she had gray, he had gray. He had maroon, she had maroon. He had two-tone shoes, she had the two-tone shoes. She had to have matched them up. He doesn't have access to clothing. But they look like twins, identical twins. And she just tore Eric Adams a new tuchus.
Statements that the mayor made publicly about my client, nothing saying alleged, for example. And he said, I wanted to send a strong message with the police commissioner that we're leading from the front. I'm not going to just allow him to come into our city. I wanted to look him in the eye and state, you carried out this terrorist act in my city, the city of New York that I love. And he wanted to show symbolism. Your Honor, he's not a symbol. He's somebody who is afforded the right to a fair trial. He's innocent until proven guilty. And the mayor was talking to jurors, future potential jurors that elected him. Those are the people that elected him that he is talking to and calling this man a terrorist. So, Your Honor, I just want to make a record of this and put everyone on notice that this has to stop. And my client is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. And we're going to fight these charges, whether it's in the state or federal, to the fullest extent. Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, my God. Luigi had vapors for his defense attorney at that point. Love vapors. You should have seen the love look in his eyes towards her, but she didn't stop there. I'm telling, this is a brewing jailhouse romance between the female attorney and her client, Luigi Mangione, the number one most interesting male to females in America now, according to a recent poll.
He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of these, the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political.
Wow. She wouldn't get off of Eric Adams on this. And then she turned to her client, Luigi. Seemed, if you notice, Kevin Drosch, a little vapors from her to him, almost like a little love that was being transferred. She said they're treating my client like a human ping pong ball, Luigi.
I'm very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial in this case. He's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle.
He's a political prisoner. This is an indictment. She went on this long diatribe in defense of Luigi. I'm telling you, the women, they just swoon. They love Luigi, who has gone on record to say he cannot be intimate with any women. That's part of his problem. He had a back surgery that went awry. They put 2 shafts in his back. It just realigned his spine to the point where he doesn't have the angle to the dangle, Kevin Drosch. It doesn't matter to these women. He's the biggest bad boy ever, and they all love him. And then the protesters, they show up. They show up outside of the MDC. They show up outside of his court hearings. They've had demonstrations in Times Square on behalf of Luigi Mangione.
Help! Overwhelmed! 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 Help! Overwhelmed!
Oh, my God, it's like a love call. Health over wealth. Mostly women, I might add, in that crowd. And then on Saturday Night Live, I know you were watching this, Kevin Drosh, when they do the news update. Oh, my God. The audience was gushing love, respect, and applause for the assassin Luigi Mangione, lover boy extraordinaire.
Luigi Mangione dropped... Yeah, definitely woo. You're wooing for justice, right? Luigi Mangione dropped his extradition fight and was flown from Pennsylvania to New York to face multiple charges. In related news, Bumble exploded.
Luigi Mangione has been placed in the same federal prison as Sean Combs. Said Combs, Christmas came early.
Wow. Can I hear the beginning of that again? Did you hear all those women in the audience? Go on.
Luigi Mangione dropped... Yeah, definitely.
That's unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you make of this idolatry? And the role that Eric Adams and others have played by basically giving him a forum to the world. I've never seen such slow perp walks like this before. I don't understand it. It's just going to give him more attention. It's going to turn him into a political prisoner. 1-800-848-9222. That's 1-800-848-WABC. But it doesn't end there. There's more, ladies and gentlemen. There are the women who are just opining for him and the men who are speaking out on his behalf. He is the ultimate bad boy. Listen to these two women. Back to back, belly to belly. Opining, gushing with love. And would take Luigi in a moment and bring him home and do ungodly things to him that he could not participate in. But it doesn't matter to them.
Thank you to everyone who's sending me their thoughts and prayers for Luigi. Like I said, he was making me cacio e pepe at my house the night that the CEO was shot. So, it was definitely not him. They have the wrong guy. And yeah, we're doing everything we can to get him out of this. So please keep praying for my boyfriend.
What do you mean your boyfriend? What was going on the night before? No further comments. This is the woman apparently who is leading the GoFundMe for the Legal Defense Fund. And then there was another woman who said, it's a little old for Luigi. She's a cougar. But oh, God, she'd love to be involved with Luigi.
Okay, so they've arrested our hot CEO assassin. Turns out his name's Luigi. He's 26 years old. He's an Ivy League grad. Did his undergrad and master's at Penn in computer science. That's my type. He's a little young for me, but... baby, what is you doing getting caught eating at McDonald's? And curse you, McDonald's employee, for turning him in. But I get it. They upped the reward to $60,000. Maybe you needed that money. I never understood those crazy women that wrote inmates in jail, but I could see myself doing that.
What the hell is that? By the way, the person who did the right thing, see something, say something. Have we found out who that McDonald's employee is? They promised that person $60,000, $50,000 reward from the FBI, $10,000 from the NYPD, and they're welching. They're saying, oh, no, we don't give that reward until there's an indictment and a conviction. Now, there'll be an conviction. Then there'll be an appeal. The guy could be on trial for like 5, 6, 7 years. This McDonald's employee will probably be in a retirement home in Florida by then. Give her the money. How the hell are you going to encourage other people to come forward and see something, say something, and then, well, we're not going to give you the money. And not only that, we're not even going to tell you who it is. What are you saying, that that person's life might be threatened and you can't even protect that person? What does that say about you? And it's not just women. It's guys. Again, average age under 30, 41% of those sampled have said that to them, Luigi Mangione was right to execute the healthcare CEO, executive of that insurance company. And in fact, to them, he is a hero. Listen.
I mean, personally, if we're going with the notion that Luigi did it, and if you're assuming that, I don't feel scared. I think I share that sentiment with 99% of the people in the country, in the world, when I say I'm not scared of him if he was walking on the street today. And if you are scared, it says something about what your company or what your actions have caused normal people to go through. If your company profits off of the backs of people who need a service, require help, if your loyalty is with the shareholders, if your loyalty is with the stock price over giving health to people who need it, then it makes sense why you would be scared of that.
Wow, that's intense. Let's go to Dave calling from New Jersey. Your turn to be heard here at WABC, Dave.
Let me tell you something, Curtis. This guy, they're transporting him around like he's Hannibal Lecter. I'll tell you what, let them put him in Rikers for 1 month. He will not last. He's going to do a bad bid. And these women, Manson had a following, the L.A. Ripper had a following, Ted Bundy had a following. This ain't no bad boy, man, and he's going to find out when he hits Rikers, he's going to do a bad bid. And these women, they're suckers. He should not get any of that money, man. That's against the law to profit off of this. Capiche?
Capiche, but let me tell you something. He won't be doing any time in Rikers. Now that the feds have inserted themselves because they want a death penalty charge on him, he'll be locked up in the MDC for any amount of time before he goes on trial. There'll be 2 trials. They'll probably let Bragg go first, Manhattan DA. Then they'll follow with the federal charge because they want a death penalty charge. So the groupies, they're going to be taking the R train at 36th Street. They're going to be walking down towards the East River underneath the BQE and assembling there, opining up to Luigi Mangione on the 5th floor. They don't want P. Diddy or Sam Bankman-Fried. They want Luigi. Let's go, if we can, to Darren in New Jersey. Your turn to be heard here at WABC, Darren.
Good morning, Curtis, Mr. Mayor, I hope. How could this guy have ridden a bicycle and eluded NYPD for as long as he did if he's got a bad back?
Well, remember we were told that President JFK had a bad back because of the injuries he incurred when he was the captain of PT 109. You remember that story. And the guy was humping every broad that he could put his eyes on. Remember that?
Indeed. True indeed. The White House was a whorehouse on the weekends.
Not just the weekends, the weekdays. He was having sex with an East German spy. They told him, she's an East German spy. He said, mind your own business. And then he went back in the room, and he continued to fornicate and copulate with her. And then he come out and say, I got a bad back. By the way, that's a good point. Luigi was on that bicycle, and you know what my wife Nancy said right away? He rode in like Pee Wee Herman on the bicycle in Central Park. They have no cameras in the park. They should have cameras in the park. It was Comrade Bill de Blasio who banned having cameras in the park, which is ridiculous because now criminals know I can commit a crime in the park, get away with it without being on video. And then when he left the park to Central Park West to hail the cab, Nancy said, what happened to that bike? You know what happened to the bike? Somebody stole the bike. Somebody stole the evidence, the bike. And nobody has answered. When they found his backpack, which was also near, I think, the carousel, He had monopoly money in it. Now, what was the message of that, Kevin Drosch? The fact that he had a backpack filled with monopoly money. Nobody has answered that. And why Altoona? Why the hell would anybody want to go to Altoona, Pennsylvania? And not only that, but sit in McDonald's and eat that greasy hash brown. Look, I was a McDonald's manager. The worst product of the many bad products in Mickey D's, the hash browns. It's oily. Oh, my God. And he bought one freaking hash brown, had a bag full, $88,000 in cash. Let's go to Rick in New Jersey. Your turn to be heard here at WABC, Rick.
Thanks for taking my call, Curtis, and belated Merry Christmas. I have a letter from Luigi Mangione. It says, in this article, we argue that the Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. They have greatly increased the life expectancy of those of us who live in advanced countries, but have destabilized society, have made life unfulfilling, have subjected human beings to indignities, have led to widespread psychological suffering. In the third world, it's physical suffering as well, and have inflicted severe damage on the natural world. The continued development of technology will worsen the situation. It will subject human beings to greater indignities and inflict greater damage on the natural world. He sounds like an eco-nut. He sounds like he went to the Al Gore School of Global Warming.
Or an Earth Firster, anarchist, Earth Firsters. I believe his hero was the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, whose manifesto from Harvard University was 35,000 pages. How come the University of Penn grad, Luigi, only had a 3-page manifesto? What, are they truncated?